How does Grant do this? Hey guys, how's it going? This is Shelby from Grant and Shelby, and I wanted to hop on today to talk about my 5 tips or words of advice to any women that are wanting to get into weight training but don't really know how to start. I want to start with 2 quick disclaimers here. First, this is based on my experience, so take that as you will. And then second, I will be referring mostly to women because that is, again, based on my experience, but this could apply to anybody wanting to get into weight training that doesn't really know how to get started. So just wanted to start there, and if I keep looking down, it's because I have my notes. I don't have all this off the top of my head. So let's start with number 1, and this one I personally think is probably the most important, and that is to find a good mentor. Now I know that is easier said than done, but what I want to say here is your mentor doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that you know personally. This can be also somebody that might be on an online community or, a fitness guru that you really admire. That can be considered a mentor to you as long as they are knowledgeable about, weight training. So for me, Grant was actually my mentor, and that was really important to me because 1, I was able to go to the gym with him and it really helped me to feel comfortable, but 2, he had more knowledge than I did at the time. So if you have somebody that don't be afraid to ask them, hey, would you mind showing me a few things? Would you mind working out with me? I've had women approach me about that multiple times asking, will you just go to the gym with me and, just show me what you do? And I'm always more than happy to do that. So find that mentor, whether it be somebody you know in person to ask for a few pointers, or find, a fitness extraordinaire on Instagram. Just make sure that they're credible. A few that really inspire me are Jessie Hilgenberg, I never know how to pronounce that, Katrina from College Clean Eating, and then Dana Lynn Bailey. Those are 3 women that really inspire me. They post a lot of their workouts on Instagram, so it makes it really easy to follow what they're doing. And to my knowledge, all 3 of them have their own training programs, so if that's the way you want to kind of construct this mentorship, is through a structured training program, that's another really great way to get started. Okay, number 2, and this one you've probably already heard before. I've said it a million times, but I want to hit it again. You're not going to bulk up just by weight training. Gaining muscle mass takes a lot of work. It takes a large caloric intake with really specific macros involved in all of that, something that I am not well versed in at all. But I've been heavily weight training for, 4 or 5 years now, I don't even know. And I don't consider myself bulky. Not that there's anything wrong with that physique either. I just know that seems to be a deterrent for a lot of women that I know. Number 3, there can still be variety in your workouts if you weight train. So by that I mean, some people worry that weight training is going to become monotonous or mundane. And I'm not gonna lie, it's become that for me at times, but that's when I switch up my routine. And that's the beauty of weight training is not one form of working out. Within weight training, there are so many varieties of workouts that you can try, whether that be switching up, your weight or your reps, or tying in some form of HIIT cardio with your weight training. There's just a million options out there, and you can still have that variety. Grant talks about it a lot on the channel that he likes to switch up his routine about once a month. I'm more of a maybe once every 2 months I'll make minor changes. And personally for me also, sometimes I just come to the gym not knowing what I'm going to do, and I do what feels good that day. And that to me provides a lot of variety. It makes things fun. So don't think that weight training is mundane. It can be really exciting and have a ton of variety. You just have to try new things. So don't be afraid of the monotony. Weight training can still have variety. Number 4, and this is probably up there with the tip number 1 that I gave with the level of, I wouldn't say importance, but the one that I really want to hit on. People are too focused on themselves to be worrying about you. And by that I mean, if you're worried about the judgment, if you're worried about the staring, if you're worried about people thinking you're incompetent, for the most part, people are too focused on what they're doing, on their personal insecurities. They're too focused on thinking about their space to be thinking about you and judging you. Now, I know there are tons of exceptions to that. I still get stares from weirdos sometimes. I still feel like there's some judgment, but that's kind of just the mental framework that I adopt to help me get out of that rut when I am feeling it. You know, when you go to the gym, all you're thinking about is, oh my gosh, you know, I hope I don't look stupid doing this, or I hope, you know, nobody looks at me weird if I can't get this weight, or if I have to go down in weight, or, you know, a million other things. But if you're thinking that, everybody else is thinking the same thing. I think that. I get wrapped up in my own head when I'm working out, and I don't have the time to be judging or nitpicking other people in the gym. And for the most part, that is true of everybody. So if you start to feel self-conscious, if you start to feel like you don't belong, just remember that everybody has those insecurities, and there are those exceptions to the rule, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, but just to try and adopt that mindset of they're worried about them, I'm going to worry about me. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. Everybody's here for the same reason. We all want to better ourselves. And if somebody does have the time to be worrying about you, they're taking away time from their workout, and that's just their loss. There's nothing you can do about that. You're not losing anything from their judgment. So just go in there, do you, worry about you, know that others are worrying about themselves too. Number 5 is just keep trying. It's not gonna click right away. Weight training is like any other skill. It takes a lot of time and dedication to develop. So keep trying. If your first weight training session doesn't go great, you don't love it, or you're so sore the next day you don't think you can walk, been there many a times, keep trying. There's a caveat to that though. If you keep trying weight training, you keep trying various forms of weight training, and nothing seems to be clicking, weight training just might not be for you, and that's perfectly okay. But keep trying just so you know that for sure. Don't give up when things get tough. Don't give up when you feel insecure. Keep pushing. And, you know, you're gonna have your bad days. You might even have your bad weeks or months, but go back. Try something new, or try that workout again next week, or have somebody come with you to help you through that struggle that you're trying to overcome, but just keep trying. So that's it for this video. Those are my 5 kind of tips, words of advice to people trying to really penetrate the weight training world that really don't know where to start. If you have questions, if you want to contribute to this list, please leave it in the comments below. And I'm going to try and keep making more appearances on the channel. I'm trying to feel more comfortable in front of the camera. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.